Recently, last Saturday, the UFC has granted us a gift in the form of yet another controversial decision. Amir Albazi defeats Kai France by split decision, and that once again got even more discussions talking, more discussions about the scoring system, more critiques about the judges. Excuse me, drinking some water. And that got me thinking. That got me thinking that I haven't really had the opportunity to weigh in on much controversial decisions. So take this video as my opportunity to give my 2 cents. This video is robbery or not a robbery, where I go over 10 controversial decisions in the UFC and whether or not I thought those fights were robberies or not robberies, and even give my scorecards and such. So disclaimer must be said, this is just my opinion. All these fights are pretty close, so sometimes it can be a little bit subjective, and I'm gonna do my best to give my reasoning. And yeah, if I have an opinion that differs from yours, I'm definitely not saying you're wrong. Okay, especially when these fights are close. And yeah, so I'm just gonna go over 10 fights, both recent and both older, and just kind of give my 2 cents on the conversation. So starting off with the fight that influenced the making of this video, Kai France versus Amir Albazi. Albazi, like I said, took the split decision win over France. What do I have it? When I first watched it, that fight was close, I will say. But after rewatching it and kind of knowing how that fight transpired, this fight was a robbery. This was bad. This was pretty bad. Okay, Kai France rounds 1, 4, and 5, 48-47 to be safe. You could even argue a 49-46. Okay, I had Kai France rounds 1, 4, and 5. Arguably that second round. That second round could have gone either way. Okay, okay, for benefit's sake, give it to Miro Bazi. All right, and then give that third round, which he deserved to win. Okay, that's 2 rounds. That's a clear 48-47 for Kai France. And a big reason why this is a robbery is because of that fourth round. Like, why is Chris Lee giving that fourth round to Amir Albazi when that was a round that Kai France pulled ahead on? Every single round, France outstruck Albazi. Every single round. Okay? How are you going to give the fight to someone, to Albazi, who scored 1 takedown, versus Kai France, who had 2 takedowns? Okay? Albazi's supposed to be the grappler, and Kai France got more takedowns than him. Did Kai France do much with those takedowns? No, not really. But still more than Albazi. Okay, it's still more than what Albazi was able to accomplish other than that third round. Okay, like, I don't know how you give this fight to him. Okay, this was kind of bad, and it sucks because I love the flyweight division and I do think it's a competitive division. But after that showing for Albazi, I don't think he deserved to win that fight. Yeah, this is a robbery. And so I have an exclusive photo for you all. This is a live, unphotoshopped, unedited photo of Kai France's reaction to the bad decision and him getting robbed. Okay, just an unedited photo of the Kiwi himself and his reaction to the scorecards. Yeah, just wanted to share this exclusive photo, exclusive never before seen photo with you all. And yeah, this sucks for him, man. I feel for him. We move on to Jon Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson. This was a unanimous decision win for Jon Jones, and many people believe that Gustafsson was the first person to give Jon Jones a lot of trouble, and that he should have walked home with the belt that night. And kind of watching this fight, years down after this happened, here's what I have to say. I don't think this fight was a robbery. I think this was a pretty clear 48-47 to Jon Jones. I had Jon Jones winning rounds 2, 4, and 5. Okay. That first round, I was still close, but I could say, yeah, I could give it to Gustafsson because he outworked Jones. Round 2, Alex had a high pace, but Jon Jones still pulled ahead with the larger damaging shots, including a nice solid head kick. And that took him the round. And then nobody's denying that Jon Jones took rounds 4 and 5. All right. He definitely landed the bigger shots, the bigger damage. Okay. To me, this is a clear 48-47 Jon Jones. A close fight, that's for sure. And that's what I'll have to say. But I want to give you guys another exclusive photo, unedited, unphotoshopped photo, never before seen, of Jon Jones and his reaction. This photo is taken inside the octagon. His reaction to the scorecards. This is him crying tears of joy when he got a 49-46 scorecard, which is still crazy. By the way, I had Jon Jones win this fight, but 49-46 is crazy. And yeah, this is just him crying tears of joy. This photo was not taken in a police station in Las Vegas. This was his immediate reaction. So yeah, I got y'all. I got y'all with the exclusive photos. Don't worry, I got y'all. Okay, moving on. We have Cory Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw. This is a split decision win for TJ Dillashaw. Great fight, by the way. I love this fight. Gone back to watch this again and enjoyed it more when I made this video. Closer fight than I remember versus the first time I watched it. And after the second time, my opinion hasn't changed. I think this is a robbery to this day. Um, Corey Sandhagen, rounds 2, 4, and 5. All right, 2, 4, and 5. Dillashaw rounds 1 and 3. That fifth round is the round of controversy. Excuse me. TJ Dillashaw got some octagon control, holding Sandhagen against the cage for a little bit, but Sandhagen still landed the cleaner shots. He should have taken that fifth round. Okay, no one's denying that Dillashaw rounds 1 and 3, and no one's denying that Sandhagen rounds 2 and 4. But I definitely think that Sandhagen won round 5. He should have went home with the win on this night. Okay, props to TJ Dillashaw for making this a close fight, even with a blown out knee. Right, I respect to him, but still, I don't think he deserved to win this night. This was a robbery. And you know, I got to get you guys with the exclusive photos. So here you go, man. Here, I got y'all. Okay, this is an exclusive, unphotoshopped, unedited photo of TJ Dillashaw and his happy, smiley reaction to getting the nod on that night. Okay, you know what I mean? Just our favorite snake in the grass, wide eye smile. His reaction to robbing Cory Sandhagen. Okay, never before seen photo. Just want to share with you all. Okay, like I said, I got y'all. All right, this is what you come to the channel for. Okay, all right. We move on to one of the most controversial championship decisions ever. You know, this sparked, much discussion about changing the scoring system. This was a split decision for George St. Pierre GSP. I think all of the major media outlets, if not maybe just all but a few or a couple, scored this fight for Johny Hendricks. Even Dana White himself famously just did not see GSP winning this fight. And after watching this fight a couple times, since I started recording this video and making this video, here's what I have to say. This fight is not a robbery. This fight is not a robbery in my opinion. Okay, this was just a razor thin close fight. Razor thin. When I first watched this fight, even like a year ago, before, well before I started making this video, watched this fight for the first time, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I don't know who to score this for. Okay, here's this. I'll score this Hendricks round 2, GSP round 3. That's it. Okay, all the other rounds are so hard to score, so hard, so close. Okay, and after watching this fight 2 more times for the making this video, I have it more definitively. GSP rounds 1, 3, and 5. Johny Hendricks rounds 2 and 4. And it all comes down to that pesky first round. All right, that first round is so hard. After watching that first round individually by itself like 3 more times, I can't tell you for the life of me who won that round. Okay, like when the rest of the fight you have each fighter 2 rounds apiece, and that first round being the decider. I don't know, man. Like I definitely see an argument for Hendricks winning. Okay, even if I scored a GSP, it's like that first round could have gone either way. Okay, a Hendricks decision is good, a GSP decision is good, a draw is a good decision too. I just don't consider this a robbery. You know what I mean? Because it was just so close. I don't, I can agree with you if you believe that Hendricks won this fight, but I probably can't agree with you if you believe that Hendricks obviously won this fight, because that first round is just so hard. All right, and that's what I have to say about this fight. Great fight, by the way. And so just some bottom text memes for you all. You know what I mean? If I'm going to do a YouTube video with a PowerPoint, I'm going to give you some dated bottom text memes. And as for the dog meme, when I looked up GSP memes, it actually showed up, it showed German short-haired pointer dogs instead of, the UFC fighter GSP. So I thought that was kind of funny. So I decided to show you one of those memes there. Some good stuff, some fun stuff. All right, we move on. Number 5, Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley at UFC 280. I, on record, called this fight a robbery. Okay, I scored Sterling versus 2 for Yan, but I did not say it was a robbery. It was a very close fight, and I said that in my last video, predicting UFC 280, that I thought, or reacting to UFC 280, that I thought this was a definitive robbery for Petr Yan. Rounds 1 and 2, 29-28 for Petr Yan. All right, I had acknowledged that Sean O'Malley deserves to fight at the top, but I did not believe he won this fight. Okay, watch this fight again for the first time since I saw it live. Only needed to watch it one time, and I changed my mind. This fight is not a robbery. This fight is not a robbery. It was just a very, very close fight. All came to that first round, okay? Yan took round 2, and Sean O'Malley definitely took round 3, okay? It all came down to that first round, and I can see an argument for Sean O'Malley now. Sean had better pace and clean strikes, okay? It's just whether or not you weigh Yan's takedown, big takedown more than Sean O'Malley's strikes. And you say, hey, I think Sean O'Malley took that first round, and, by extension of the fight, I'm not going to argue anymore. This fight was not a robbery. It was pretty close. Probably would still score at Jan, but I am biased. But once again, I don't see this fight being a robbery anymore. Sean O'Malley, this was not a bad decision. Yeah, there you have it. I told you guys I'm open to changing my mind, and this is an example. Like I said, didn't need to watch it any more times. Watched it once. I'm like, okay, my mind has changed. This movie isn't that funny, but anyways, I just put it there. Moving on, we have probably my favorite fight on this list: Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway 2. This is a split decision, controversial win for Alexander Volkanovski. Many people believe that Holloway did enough to win the rematch. When I watched this fight many times already before I started making this video. And I'll tell you this: when I watched this fight before making this video, I had this as a pretty clear 48-47 Holloway. All right, I did not see how Volk won this fight, but then when I sat down to make this video, watched it 2 more times. Here's what I have to say: I changed my mind. This fight is not a robbery. Okay, Volk rounds 3, 4, and 5. All right, and it all came to that third round. All right, Holloway. I could definitely see a Holloway decision 1, 2, and 3. But that third round was super close. Okay. Um, it's debatable. You know, Max did outwork Volk, but Volk had the stronger landings. All right. He had a strong jab that landed frequently. He had some good hooks. I think that he could have edged it out. Okay. Now I know that I said in like previous decisions of mine, like John Jones outpacing Alexander Gustafsson or Kai Kara France outpacing Albazi, so they should have won the rounds or won the fight. And in this case, yes, Holloway did outstrike Volk that third round, but like no two fights are exactly the same. I think when the numbers get that close, you have to look at other means. And I say, damage wise, Volk landed the better shots. I probably would still score this for Holloway, but once again, now that I see the an argument for Volk because he landed the stronger shots in that third round, I think that it could have gone to Volk. Okay, um, yeah, and then he definitely edged out rounds 4 and 5. This is a close fight for sure. That's what I have to say. Here's the thing: it doesn't matter because Hasbullah we know is the lineal featherweight champion, anyways. Okay, we move on to number 7, Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero 2. This is a split decision for Robert Whittaker. Many people believe that Romero did enough to win this fight and that he should have won this fight. After watching this fight, here's what I have to say. I don't believe this fight was a robbery. I don't. I think it was just a very close fight. Here's what I have to say. You're probably thinking, do I think round 5 was a 10-8 for Yoel Romero? I say no. I say that was a definitive 10-9 for Yoel Romero. And I leaned the third round for Yoel Romero. So Yoel Romero won rounds 3 and 5, and I have Whittaker rounds 1, 2, and 4. Okay. Fourth round. All right. Yes. Whittaker did get stunned. I think early on, or just once in that round. But here's the thing: Romero's weight cut and his cardio failed him. He just couldn't match the output that Robert Whittaker had. I think that even with the damage, that 1 moment of damage that Romero had in that fourth round, it was just Whittaker's output was just too much. So I just see an argument for Whittaker taking that fourth round, and by extension, 3 rounds, rounds 1, 2, and 4. I don't think this fight was a robbery, in my opinion. All right. You can disagree, and once again, I can see an argument for Romero, but I don't think this was a clear win because I did not score that fifth round at 10-8. But it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because Romero missed weight and wouldn't have won the Undisputed Championship. So here's some advice I have. He should do what Robert Whittaker did. He should have showed up to weigh-ins with a floaty, so that way he could be like lighter. You know what I mean? Because floaties you can float on water, right? You're cutting water weight to cut weight. So yeah, why not just bring a floaty to the weigh-ins? Lose that extra pound. He would have made weight. He may have had more cardio to win the fight. And he would have been champion, right? So yeah, just kind of do what Robert Whittaker is doing right here. You enjoyed this video? Any decisions that I haven't talked about yet that you want me to talk about? Yeah, go ahead and comment them down below. Comment your other opinions, and yeah, let's continue on. Number 8, Jon Jones versus Dominic Reyes. This was another pretty controversial decision. Many people believe that Dominic Reyes should have went home with the belt that night, even more so than the first Gustafsson fight. After watching it, here's what I have to say. I think the fight was a robbery. I have Dominic Reyes rounds 1 through 3, 48-47. Reyes outworked Jon Jones that first round. That second round, I think that Reyes stole it with the bigger shots. It was still a close round. And in round 3, Reyes had the stronger shots. He had, including an uppercut and a very solid head kick. And I think Reyes did enough to win the round or win the fight. And that's the thing. Jon Jones's defense is kind of what saved him in this fight. His cardio, his composure, his movement. Okay, his defense. He was able to kind of interrupt a lot of the combos that Reyes threw. Anytime Reyes was trying to chain something, he would either block it really well or use his movement to kind of move away. That was what made the fight very close. But still, Reyes outstruck Jon Jones, and Reyes did enough to win the fight. Jon Jones' defense made the first 3 rounds close, but not enough to win those rounds. I will say that Jon Jones did win rounds 4 and 5 more definitively, and he pulled ahead farther than Dominic Reyes did in any of the first 3 rounds. But because we judge fights by rounds. I think that Reyes took 3 rounds, and it should have gone to him. I think that we should have a new champion. But when we see where these fighters are today, it's really crazy how this sport moves. You know what I mean? So yeah, robbery, in my opinion. And I was talking earlier about how Jon Jones has good defensive habits inside the octagon. Got to talk about his great habits outside the octagon. Just a professional fighter, very trustworthy. You can rely on him to have great habits outside the octagon too. Just wanted to highlight that about the longtime reigning champion. Next up, we have Lyoto Machida versus Shogun Rua. Controversial decision. This is one of the earlier discussions, I believe, about the scoring system and how it should be changed. So much head scratchers. Lyoto Machida took this fight 48-47, and I believe another 49-46. Yeah, watch this fight once. No denying it. Clear as day. This was a robbery. 49-46 Shogun Rua. Okay, maybe 50-45. I don't know how you give this fight to Lyoto Machida. Okay, you could say, oh, Shogun Rua didn't really headhunt that much. But it's like neither did Lyoto Machida. Okay, his best moment was in the 3rd round. Okay, that he kind of got some shots in the last minute. Okay, and that was after being outpaced by Shogun Rua for 4 minutes. Any leg kick or body kick that Lyoto Machida landed, Lyoto Machida landed, Shogun Rua had like doubled him, tripled him in that output, in those numbers. Okay, I do not see how in any world that Lyoto Machida won this fight. Okay, like barely even 2 rounds I could give him, barely. 49-46 Shogun Rua. I guess we haven't really talked about this fight as much because maybe Shogun Rua knocked Lyoto Machida out in the rematch, so close that discussion. And either way, these two guys would have ran into Jon Jones very soon, and we all know how that goes. And I guess because most people probably will agree that this was a robbery. This is pretty bad. All right. So coming up on the last fight now. You subscribe yet? Go ahead and subscribe for more UFC content. Go ahead and comment down any fights that I missed. Sadly, there are more controversial decisions out there. Go ahead and leave your picks and your decisions down below. Agree or disagree with me. Let's move on to the well, before we move on to the last fight, here's a little meme for you guys. I don't freaking know, dude. Last fight is Paddy Pimblett versus Jared Gordon at UFC 282. This was a robbery. This is a bad robbery. Jared Gordon rounds 1 and 3. Okay. Chris Lee, how the heck are you going to give round 3 to Paddy Pimblett? Okay. I mean, 1, how is any judge giving this fight to Paddy Pimblett? Okay. And 2, how are you going to give a round where Paddy Pimblett had no offense to him? Okay. Round 3, Jared Gordon just held Pimblett against the cage the entire time. Was it the most entertaining round? No, it wasn't. But like, what form of offense did Paddy Pimblett have? Okay. Jared Gordon definitely took that first round. That second round is arguable. You can say that with that submission attempt in the second round from Pimblett that he could have taken it, but otherwise, Gordon still landed the cleaner, better shots. But then how are you going to give that 3rd round to Pimblett? And that's where the big robbery comes in. Jared Gordon should have won this fight. Man, a really lame decision, in all honesty. And here are 2 exclusive pictures, unphotoshopped, unedited of Paddy Pimblett. These are both, I assure you, pictures of Paddy Pimblett. Nobody else. Never before seen photos. And yeah, this was him right after the fight, and he got to rehydrate and eat again and kind of blow back up his weight. And yeah, that's what I have to say. So if we learn anything, watch out for Chris Lee, man. Watch out for Chris Lee. He is responsible for multiple bad decisions on this list. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I had a great time making this video. I had a great time watching a lot of these great fights. A lot of these fights on the list were awesome to watch. Gave me a lot of serotonin. Like I said, there's other fights that other controversial decisions that I could talk about, like DJ versus Cejudo 2 or Calvin Kattar versus Josh Emmett. So if there's any other controversial fights that you want me to weigh in on, go ahead and comment down below. Go ahead and give me your opinion on how I score these fights. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your reasoning? Go ahead and comment down below and subscribe for more content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time.